morning and welcome to part 2 of my walk across the Lake District National Park. If you haven't already watched part 1, I highly recommend doing that first before watching this. But as you'll remember, I ended the last video down in Patterdale where I camped for the night. It was a beautiful evening, had an awesome sleep, slept really well, so I'm feeling pretty refreshed today. Legs are feeling really good. Only thing that's given me a bit of bother is my shoulders, but that's always going to happen when you've got a big pack on your back. And as the day goes on, it seems to kind of loosen up a bit anyway. So yeah, we're all good and we're ready to smash our longest day of the trip. We've got around 17 miles of distance to cover with about 5,600 feet of elevation, I think, last time I looked. So it's going to be a long old day. I've set off really early in the morning. It's currently 7 AM and that's because of 2 reasons really. Number 1, I just want to get a really good head start on the day. It means I can still have lots of breaks and chill out a little bit. And number 2, the campsite this morning was infested with midges, like the worst I've ever experienced. As soon as I opened my tent, they were all over me. So I packed up my tent quicker than I ever have before. So I've probably left about half an hour earlier than I'd actually planned, but I'm going to take that extra half an hour for today because I think I'm going to need it. The main kind of ups and downs today, this one here, so I've got to go up and over that down into Grasmere. The highest peak that we go next to is called Ulscarf, and then like I said, drop down to Grasmere and then we head up towards Helvellyn, which is a bit silly for me really because I don't have to go up to Helvellyn. I can cut off at Grisedale Tarn, down one of the valleys straight down to where I am staying tonight, down in Patterdale. But because I like to challenge myself and I'm a bit of an idiot, I have planned the route to go up Helvellyn and come down Swirl Edge past Red Tarn, so we're adding on probably another 1,000 feet of elevation there, which, you know, I've made wiser decisions, but I like to challenge myself. And today's the 3rd day, tomorrow is the last day, so you know, I can be absolutely knackered tonight knowing that I've only got 1 day left. The weather at the moment is overcast, no wind whatsoever again, and it's actually relatively mild. This layer is going to be coming off soon. I just left it on because the midges were just so bad. I was like, I'm getting out of here as fast as possible. So I left all my clothes on, still even got my joggers on. So yeah, I'm going to be stripping off soon before I start hitting that. And I'm fairly certain, I'm not 100% because I haven't had phone signal or internet for the past 12 hours or so down in Patterdale. I think it's going to be another hot, sunny day today. So yeah, plenty of sun cream will be applied again. It's nice to start the day with a bit of cloud cover just because, yeah, it's going to be a warm one I think. So we'll take this cloud for the time being. The nice thing about today is we're in some really familiar territory for myself. I've done a lot of walking and running in the area that I'm going to today, so I'm not going to have to use the map much at all today, which is nice, especially on a long day when you know exactly where you are for most of the day. And I'm going to try resist looking as much as possible because all I'm going to be doing is looking at how many kilometers and miles I've got left to do. So we're going to power through today. Today's definitely going to be a day for the earphones and some podcasts and some music just to keep me going. I'm going to smash it up this first mountain. We've got this, Alex. And then I'm going to head down to Grasmere. Depending on how I feel, I might stop there for a coffee and maybe a bit of food. And then it's all the way up to Helvellyn. So I'll catch up with you like I have done in the previous video throughout the day at kind of significant areas or points along the route. Just leaving the lovely little village of Grasmere now. The sun has properly returned now and it is pretty boiling, to be honest with you. But I'm feeling pretty good, to be honest. The first climb of the day, I don't know what was in that apple crumble last night, but they must have put some rocket fuel in it because my legs just felt so good. I flew up there, probably a bit faster than I should have done, because coming down I was like, oh, actually, my legs are a little bit tired. So I had about half an hour to 45-minute break in Grasmere, smashed a coffee, smashed a millionaire shortbread, smashed a sandwich wrap thing, and just chilled for a little bit, feeling refreshed. And now we are heading straight ahead. In between this gap here, so that's Seat Sandal on the left, and just over there is Grisedale Tarn, which is our next destination. And I'll tell you what, I'm 99% certain that I am swimming in Grisedale Tarn, because by the time I'm up there, I'm going to be dripping in sweat, I'm sure, because this next climb, I did it roughly a month ago, and wow, it's an absolute killer. So I'm just going to take it really easy up there, and just keep on focusing on the fact that I've got Grisedale Tarn to swim in once I'm up there. And then the next stop after there is Helvellyn, so there's another big climb after. But there is also Red Tarn just off Helvellyn, which I'll be going past, so if I need another swim, we've got another tarn to swim in. So plenty of opportunities to cool off today. And I managed to get to Grasmere by just gone 11 AM, which I was so happy with. It's way quicker than I thought I was going to get there. I'm really happy with how quickly I got there, because it meant I could have a proper break. And we've already smashed out 10 miles today. We've just hit the 35-mile mark for the whole trip so far. I'm still feeling good. The only thing again that is giving me a tiny bit of bother is my shoulders. Legs feel absolutely fine though. And once I get going with the shoulders, it seems to kind of ease off a bit. So yeah, we'll see what I'm saying after this climb, because the legs may be joining the shoulders in the pain cave. But yeah, feeling good. That coffee, it's the first coffee I've had since I started the trip, and it went down an absolute treat. The caffeine crash will hopefully happen once I hit Grisedale Tarn. Yeah, it is glorious today, and it did say on the weather when I was looking earlier on the week that today was going to be the warmest day. It's going to be around 20-21 degrees, obviously a bit cooler on the tops, but I think the sun is here to stay for the rest of the day now. So it's 12:30 now, so yeah, it's just gone midday, so I've got loads of time. I can't see it taking me longer than 5 to 6 hours to do this whole next section down to Patterdale, and I'd be so happy if I managed to get to the youth hostel before around 6ish, 7. So yeah, it's going very well. I was a little bit worried about today after how rough I was feeling coming down from Hollister Slate Mine yesterday evening. I think I just pushed it a little bit with the amount of chill stops I had yesterday, because it kind of took it out of me on the climbs and what have you, because I didn't eat anywhere near enough. But we've eaten more food today. I will probably catch up with you when we get up to Grisedale Tarn, hopefully after I've had a swim. Main focus now, get up to Grisedale Tarn and just crush this next climb, because once this climb's done, there's not too much climbing left for the day.
Tell you what, this is the life. So refreshing. Not as cold as the rivers either. Oh, so nice. Perfect way to cool off after that grueler of a climb. Never ending. Wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And that's where we're going next. All the way up that bad boy. That was a much needed swim. Feeling a lot more refreshed and cooled off now. That climb out of Grasmere up to here was a bit of a killer. Been dreading that climb since I planned the route, just because I've done it before and I remember it being a proper grueler. But we've smashed it out and now just got the rest of the climb up to Helvellyn, and then that is all of the climbing done for the day. So we now go up this zigzag path up to Dollywagon Pike, and then onto Nethermost Pike, and then onto Helvellyn. They're 3 separate Wainwrights. I've bagged them all already, but the views you get from up there are incredible. As many of you watching this will know, Helvellyn has some of the best views in the lakes, and many of you have probably gone up it via Stridon Edge. I'm not going to be going down via Stridon Edge today, just because most people will be on Stridon Edge coming up, and it's just going to be a nightmare because this time of year Stridon Edge is always relatively busy. So we're going to drop down off Swirl Edge, which has an awesome view looking over Catsley Cam Wainwright. We've still got so many more beautiful views left on today's route, and as I've already said, this whole route so far there hasn't been a single bit where I've gone, oh, this is a bit naff. It has just been endless beautiful Lake District views. I'm feeling so much better today, and I think that's purely just because I'm eating so much more. I really just did not eat enough yesterday. Had a Cliff Bar and some nuts. Cliff Bars, ooh, they are my new favourite thing. The white chocolate and almond one, I think it is. Well, it's definitely got white chocolate in it. It is incredible, so good. They have overtaken my previous favourite, which was Cheer Charge bars. Cliff Bars are just next level, so nice. Not very cheap, but they're really good. And yeah, they seem to do the job, because whenever I have one I just get this kind of burst of energy which seems to last for quite a while, which is exactly what I need for this sort of route. So I had a quick update on mileage. We are 38 miles into the route, and trying to work out how much we've done today. We've done 13 miles so far today. My original route I thought was around 17 miles for today. We've already done 13, so I think we're going to be going over that 17 mile mark. It's going to be a very long day, but feeling so much better energy wise today, so yeah, no complaints from me at all. And we are now just coming up to 20 past 3. Had quite a long break there, so I think it would be really good to get up to Helvellyn in an hour or so, in the next hour, and then we should just about be on track to get down to Patterdale by 6-7ish. It doesn't matter if it's a bit later, but I don't want to be really late, because yeah, I'm gonna need another good sleep tonight for tomorrow, because tomorrow's still a fairly long day to the finish line. I'm just about to start this climb now, so I'm going to put the camera away and I'll catch up with you probably when I'm up at Helvellyn. So I'm just heading down into Patterdale now. So it's been a while since I actually last caught up with you. I was all the way down at Grisedale Tarn since then, headed up to Dollywagon Pike, then over to Nethermost Pike, and then we just bagged Helvellyn. Final climb of the day, and yeah, it was absolutely stunning up there. Beautiful views. And the reason why I didn't catch up with you once I got up there, right at the top of Squirrel Edge, a bloke came up behind me and was like, "Oh, what's it like going down there?" And I was like, "Oh, look, it's a little bit scrambly, probably a bit harder to down climb it than coming up, but it's not horrific. It is quite technical, Squirrel Edge, going down especially." And in the end, I ended up with 4 people in tow behind me. I ended up with the nickname Mountain Goat. Really nice guys. But yeah, so I just kind of had to go very slowly down and show them kind of the easiest route. And yeah, we all got down safely, so that's all that matters really. But yeah, it was absolutely stunning. It's about 6:30 now, so it's golden hour. A bit behind schedule. It took me quite a lot longer to get up to Helvellyn than I'd planned, just because I took my time and I had a bit of a stop. But to be honest with you, I wanted to make the most of that because it was just absolutely beautiful up there. So it's been an awesome afternoon. I mean, just look at that. Today has by far been the sunniest as well. There isn't a cloud in the sky now. It has just been gorgeous all day. And I am starting to feel pretty tired now. Definitely underestimated the length of the route because we've already passed 17 miles, which is the distance I originally thought this route was going to take me today. And we've still got about 2 to 3 left down into Patterdale. So it's looking more like a 20-mile day. So a long day out in the fells, but when it's like this, I don't really care if it's 3 miles longer. It has just been absolutely awesome. Got chatting to one of the chaps on the way down, and he was talking to me about how, you know, he's nearly going to retire, but he's spent a lot of his life kind of chasing the money and the dream job, dream house, dream car. And he was talking about how his son's doing the same thing now. And yeah, it just got me thinking. We all want to live our lives, and really hard not to kind of get sucked into that trap. So yeah, we just had a really good chat, and it just gave me a lot of food for thought as to what I want to do with my life. We're getting deep now. This is what happens when I get tired, I get deep. I want to be doing stuff like this a lot more, and I know it's not easy. You know, I work in retail 5 days a week, 40 plus hours a week. I know that I could probably be doing more and maybe doing something more outside, more outdoorsy kind of lifestyle and job. But yeah, it's just giving me some food for thought, because like the chap said, money can buy you a lot of things, but it can't buy you time. And I know all this, and I've thought about this a lot in the past year, because when my mum passed away, it just made me think, like, my mum was so full of life and it just happened like that. It was so quick and sudden. So yeah, I'm gonna stop being so deep now. I think I'm just a bit tired, getting a bit emotional thinking about my mum. But yeah, my mum would be pretty happy that I'm doing this sort of thing with my time off work, because this is exactly what makes me happy. Anyway, I'm gonna start crying now, so we're gonna stop talking about that. I'm gonna enjoy the final few miles down into Patterdale. So I've made it down to Patterdale, got my beer, just had a bottle of Wainwright as well. Keeping it to 2 because if I have any more than that, I'll be on the floor after today. I've just strolled down the road from where I'm staying. You can see some of the tents there. That's the view looking over towards the far eastern fells, which is where we're heading tomorrow. More over in that direction over there. But yeah, we've got another biggish day tomorrow. I think 15, 16 miles roughly. Not as crazy as today, and the elevation also isn't as brutal. Thank God, because yeah, another day of that and I think my legs might actually start to feel it. I've been so happy with how my legs have felt today and how they've recovered after each night. It's nice to know that all the mountains that I've been kind of pumping out over the past few months, it's actually paid off. The worst part for me has definitely been my shoulders, but today kind of got to the point where they're almost getting used to it. So yeah, I think tomorrow they might actually be all right. But yeah, another incredible day in the Lake District. I mean, I just can't get over how nice the weather has been. I genuinely could not have picked a better 4 days to do this hike. Today, and I mean the last 3 days, have just been incredible. I'm never ever going to forget them. They've been 3 of my favourite days this year, if not 3 of my favourite days I've ever had out in the Lake District. It has been absolutely awesome, and I'm really sad that tomorrow is going to be the last day. It's tempting to carry on, but I've got a couple days rest and then I'm back out in the Lake District for 5 days like I was saying earlier, so you know, I've got plenty more to look forward to. It's not completely over yet. And I haven't got the exact stats from today because I'm doing a continuous thing on my Garmin so that it does kind of, so it calculates it all as one big long route. All that I do know is that we got to a total of 46 miles today, and today was roughly 20 miles, I think just over. I calculated 17 on my route when I was planning it. I got that wrong. So yeah, 20 miles and around 6,000 feet. So it was a big day, but when the weather's like this, there's no complaining whatsoever from me because it was just awesome. So it looks like we're going to just get over 60 miles for the total route by the end of tomorrow. Anyway, I'm going to stop chatting here because I'm really tired. I need to go and have a shower. I've just smashed 3 of the full kind of main camping meals. Not 2 camping meals and a dessert, 3 main ones I had. 2 different pasta ones and a vegetarian chili con carne thing. Really nice. I would have eaten anything though, to be honest, because I was so hungry. But yeah, I'm going to finish my beer. I'm going to go and have a shower and get all this sun cream and dust off me. And I'll see you in the morning for the 4th and final day of the Lake District Traverse. And hopefully it's going to be another beautiful day in the Lake District Fells. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Welcome to day 4. It's another beauty of a day in the lakes. The sun is actually shining this morning as well for the first time on this trip. It has always been clagged out and overcast in the morning, but today it's an absolute beauty. That's where we came from yesterday, over that way, which is where Helvellyn sits, and today we're heading up the far eastern fells, heading across them over to Shap. I love the far eastern fells. It's kind of like the most accessible place from where I live in the Peak District. It only takes me 2-ish hours to get there, so I've done a lot of stuff in the far eastern fells in the past year or so, and I just love it up there. It's usually really quiet. So yeah, we're gonna have an awesome day today. I'm feeling a little bit more tired this morning than I have on previous days. Yesterday took it out of me a little bit. Didn't sleep incredible just because my legs were hurting quite a bit throughout the night, but I managed to get a few good hours kept still. And it is the final day today, which is really sad because I don't really want this to ever end, because yeah, it has been the most perfect trip so far. All good things must come to an end, but we've still got a full day out in the Lake District. We've got 15 miles, and I'm hoping it is actually going to be 15 miles today, because my old man's going to be waiting for me in Shap, so I can't really be messing around with mileage and time today. So we're going straight up this morning, and I've got 1 or 2 Wainwrights, I think, along the route to start with that I haven't bagged, so we're going to go and get them, and then we'll head over the tops and drop down to Haweswater, and then it's just a really steady walk back to Shap. And yesterday evening, when I was having a shower, I stupidly, the water must have got onto my touchscreen on my watch and it saved the whole route that I've done so far. So it essentially ended it, which is an absolute nightmare because I've tried to do a continuous one so I could get all the stats for the whole thing. So we're starting a fresh day today on the watch. So I will actually be able to give you all the stats for today's route throughout the day. And I'm already on the first little bit of climb, and my legs are definitely feeling it a little bit more this morning. Yesterday they felt fresh as anything, but 20 miles yesterday, 6,000 feet of elevation, they're always going to feel a little bit sore today, aren't they? Some very happy sheep right there, just chilling, enjoying the morning view. We're heading up this horrible looking steep thing. So we're heading up to Angle Tarn first. And up here today, there are actually two Wainwrights that I've never bagged. So there is Angletarn Pikes and there is Brook Crags as well. So I'm going to tag them on because they are right next to the footpath. So I've done 4 new Wainwrights on this route as well. But anyway, I'm going to stop chatting because I'm getting out of breath. We're going to head up here, up to Angletarn Pikes. I'll catch up with you somewhere over in the Far Eastern Fells where there's an awesome view. And it looks like it's going to be another epic day in the Lake District National Park. Just coming off Kidsley Pike now. I've been meaning to catch up with you a little bit earlier, but the wind up there was just, whew. I mean, it's still quite strong here, so hopefully you can hear me clearly. But yeah, it was blowing an absolute hoolie up there. So I didn't hang around because it was actually really cold up there with the breeze. And Kidsley Pike is our last Lake District mountain of the whole route, which is really sad, but the view from it, as you can see, absolutely stunning. So yeah, it's a really nice walk off Kidsley Pike now. Before Kidsley Pike, I managed to bag 2 more Wainwrights, Angletarn Pikes, which was next to Angletarn, and Brook Crags, which is one I should have done about a year ago, but I put it off then, and I keep on putting it off because to get up to it out of the valley, it's just such a steep climb, and I nearly didn't go over and get it then because yeah, it's added on about half a mile to the route, but I did it. I didn't actually take a video when I was there, I took a video just below it, but yeah, I did go and bag it. So that's another 2 Wainwrights ticked off. And now we're heading down to Haweswater, which is quite a long stretch of water, so once we're on there, we're gonna skirt all the way around over towards Shap. So we've still got about 9 or 10 miles left, still plenty of distance to cover. See Haweswater down there. It's quite a long old length of water, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, the footpath along it is really nice and not too undulating and uneven, because sometimes these footpaths next to the waters that aren't as popular, they can be a bit brutal sometimes. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it's going to be okay. And at least the sunshine has made an appearance again. The wind is coming from the east to the west today, and I'm walking from the west to the east, so it's just been in my face all day. So I'm hoping down by the water, the fells over there should give us a bit of shelter and it'll be a little bit calmer. Because yeah, it was pretty brutal up there. Can't complain at all though, because we've literally had no wind all week. So rare for the Lake District, especially high up. So yeah, can't complain whatsoever. And I've made decent progress. Been going for 4 hours and I've done nearly 8 miles now. So we're making good time. I've just sent a message to my dad saying 4 to 5-ish I reckon I'll be finished, which will be the earliest finish of the week as well. And I've only got a couple of Cliff Bars left, and that is it for food. So yeah, we're going to smash it back along Haweswater so we can get back and have the biggest meal known to man. I'm going to eat so much food, and now we get an even better view of Haweswater. So we'll join it just down there, and then we've got to go all the way along it. So it's a long old trip, but once we're there, we just go around this kind of headland bit here, and Shap is situated just over there. Not too far left now, but it's been another beautiful morning. Sun hasn't shone as much as I thought it was going to, but it's still been beautiful. The views and the Far Eastern Fells are just gorgeous. It's a little bit more featureless and kind of a bit more open around this part of the lakes, but it's still very beautiful. For now, I'm going to carry on down to Haweswater, and I'm going to enjoy the final view of the Lake District Mountains before we're down to the lower levels for the rest of the trip. And I'll probably catch up with you at the end of Haweswater, just before we get to Shap. So we've just made it to the end of Haweswater, and that was a slog and a half. Very beautiful, not too crazy the terrain. I thought it might be a bit undulating, but really nice trail, really easy to walk along. A few ups and downs. However, the main issue was not the trail, it was me. When I got to the bottom of Kidsley Pike, my stomach just decided to turn upside down. It was just so painful, man. So for the whole length along Haweswater, yeah, it was just not enjoyable whatsoever. I've been in a lot of pain. It's just started to ease now. I've had to completely loosen my waist strap, which has meant all the weight has been on my shoulders, which nearly 60 miles in isn't ideal. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not complaining whatsoever. Every single trip has highs and lows, and I've been so lucky so far that every single second of this trip has been a high until the last hour and a half. I was just saying to myself, this is going to pass. Focus on your ones and twos, one foot in front of the other. I'm trying to be as present as possible, not trying to look how far away the end of Haweswater was. And it worked, and we've made it to the end of Haweswater, and we've only got a few miles now to Shap. So my energy levels and my mood back through the roof, feeling fantastic. Stomach's still in a bit of pain, but do you know what? I'm nearly at the end, so doesn't matter at all. It's not going to affect how amazing the past few days has been whatsoever, is it? So we've had our low and we're still going to finish on a high. Just got to keep that positive attitude. I'm probably about 300 meters away from the end now of the Haweswater. I can see the dam very clearly now. So we're going to head out of Haweswater. We're going to head out of the valley that Haweswater sits in, and then it's just across, I think, some kind of farmland and some fields and a few trails and roads, and then we'll be in the little town or village, I'm not really sure, I've never been to it, of Shap, and we'll have finished. So I'll show you the remainder of the route and some of the views that it has to offer, and I will catch up with you at the final stage of my Lake District traverse when I get to Shap. Right, so we have officially just left the Lake District National Park. You can see the fells all the way over in the distance where I was this morning. I'll tell you what, we've put in an absolute shift there this afternoon. I know at the beginning I was like, I'm just taking it really nice and easy, and I have done throughout the whole trip until this last few hours, because I haven't eaten anything for the past 3 to 4 hours with my stomach, because I just don't want to take any risks. Just thought, you know what, it's time for head down and just power on, and we've done it. And yeah, it has been the best 4 days I've had in the Lake District or anywhere all year by an absolute country mile. It has been absolutely incredible. The sun has been shining pretty much the whole time. Haven't had a drop of rain. My waterproof jacket may as well have not come with me. I couldn't have asked for better conditions, to be honest with you. And I am genuinely so sad that it is coming to an end. But I'm back in the Lake District next week for some more adventures. Thank you so much for watching both parts, if you've watched part 1 and part 2. I hope you've enjoyed them. It's the first time I've ever filmed a multi-day hike, so it's all been new to me, so it was a good practice. I've just been using the GoPro, so I hope it turned out okay. And I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for all of the love on the channel. As always, thank you for just clicking on this video and watching it. All the likes, all the comments, all the new subscribers, you're all legends. I all love you. I've had so many nice comments on my Instagram over the past 4 days because I've been doing live updates throughout the past 4 days. And just a quick update on the mileage. Today we've done 16.5 miles, and that brings us to just over 60 for the whole 4 days. Awesome route. But anyway, I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.